Hi folks, I'm Andrew White from New Zealand. Welcome to my vlog this week where I continue with my Waikato Painting colour mixing tutorial. Last week we did the mountains of the Kiwi Ranges in the Waikato of New Zealand, coming down through here, fading off into the distance. And today we're going to mix up some colour for some of this mid-ground hill country through here, and also maybe some of the foreground as well. And obviously some of the highlights on the mountains, we'll put in some of those as well. Some of the detail coming through, particularly in the closer sections through here. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's get to work. Okay, I'm going to be working on the detail on the Kiwi Ranges themselves, so I'm looking for some warm tones, bearing in mind that the theme throughout this painting is a warm glow, morning or evening light type, like what they call the golden hour of light, which occurs either in the morning or in the evening. I'm going to put some of the details on the hills, so I'm mixing up a little bit of paint. Now, I've got some leftover paint, some green paint that's already been pre-mixed at some stage, and I've also got some orange and some earthy tones through here. So I'm going to see what I can make out of those so far, because waste not, want not. It's a good idea to use whatever you've got left over. You save yourself a lot of money. This obviously was mixed up with a bit of sap green, maybe a little bit of cadmium brighter green as well. So I'm just digging underneath the crust of the paint. I don't want to get that mixed in with it, otherwise it's not going to go on very smoothly. So I'm digging up underneath there. Now that's dead to me. Can't really use any more of that, but that's good. It's done its job. I managed to rescue a bit of paint out of it anyway. I'm going to do the same with this orangey colour here. Now I'm going to mix the two together and see whether I can get a more of an earthy green tone. And a little bit of this paint under here as well, which is sort of a grey brown, a warm mauve colour. Okay, a little bit of vermilion into it. Rounding out this vermilion paint, that's a pigment that's commonly used in landscape painting. You can see how that's created an earthy tone. Now, because this paint is going on top of some other paint which is already tacked off, I want to make sure that it's going to not crack. So I'm going to put some archival fat mix into it. Give it a good shake. I use a stick just to dip it into the bottle. And always put it somewhere where it's not going to fall over. Otherwise you have a little mess to clean up. Which is just delightful. Right. I'm also going to put a little bit of raw sienna into this as well. Pick up on a little bit of the outskirts of it. Mix it in with the dregs of what's left on the palette after I've moved it across. And that's created a slightly different tone of earthy green. Keep that fat mix rolling. So those are the paints I'm going to use for the faraway hills through the mountains, and I want some to mix up some darker colour as well for the midground. This time I'm going to use some Hooker's Green, which is a Rauneata's colour. As you can see, that's quite a bright green. I'm going to use a fair amount of it because I need a little bit of it actually. Because this is a base coat, I'm going to mix some lean mix into it. This is archival odorless lean mix. Put a liberal amount onto it. Now I want this to go a dark green, sap green colour. And the easiest way to achieve that is by putting some vermilion with it. See what that's done to it? Just a little bit more to make it warmer. And that's created almost a black colour. But it's not pure black, it's a green black. And that's what we're looking for here. A green black. Put some more lean mix with it. Now I've got it all over my hairy leg. I just love this stuff. Get covered in it. Let's clean that off. It's a good idea to keep all your knives and everything nice and clean. Right, let's apply it to the canvas. I'm using some Terra Verte here. This is a Gamblin Artist Oil colour product. Terra Verte is an earthy green colour. And I'm going to mix it with a little bit of raw sienna as well. Got a sort of a light bluey colour left over in here too, so I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. As you can see, I've created another shade of earthy green. I want it to be a little bit warmer than what it is, so I'm going to put a little bit of scarlet red into it and see what colour it goes. I won't need much of that at all. There we go, I've warmed it up. I think that's the colour I need for the trees on the hills. Right, I'm going to use a round brush. Not quite right, I don't think. Back to the mixing palette. Put a little bit of scarlet in it. That's warmed it up. Taking that bright green out. Bearing in mind that this is a golden hour painting, there's not going to be a lot of bright green colours in it. So we have to knock back that hooker's green as much as I can. That's better. Fortunately, I have some leftover blue and mauves from my colour mixing the other day. Remember when we did the sky? Well, this is where this is going to come in handy. Let's mix that into that. A little bit of this out of it too. It's quite a similar colour to what we want actually, that one there. And some of that as well. Oh, that's full of skin and scum. We don't want that. That'll make a mess of our paint. I'm just going to leave that one. Can't really use that anymore, but I think we've got enough paint to do what we want to do with it. Just put a little bit of this, pick up of that bit of that green. Some lean mix into it. Here we've got a sort of a medium intensity grey green colour. Yep. that's what we want. Okay, we're going to leave it there today. We've done some of the foreground and midground layers through here. These are just the base coats. And we'll mix up our colour to complete the highlights and put some life into these hills in part 4 of the Waikato colour mixing tutorial. I'm Andrew Point. You have a neat day. Catch you soon.